This movie is about a mythological story about a goddess who created the entire universe. The plot revolves around the consequences when humans build a temple for her firstborn. It was directed by Rahi Anil Barv, with Anand Gandhi as creative director and Nadesh Prasad as co-director, written by Mitesh Shah, Nadesh Prasad, and Rahi Anil Barv, starring Soham Shah, Jyoti Malshi, and Anita Date Kelkar. Sorry, I'm ruining names. But this movie is Tumbbad.
सरकार मर गया। अब यहाँ कुछ नहीं बचा। हम तुम्बाड़ छोड़ रहे हैं।
क्यों? वाड़ा तो अपना हुआ ना। वाड़े में जो खजाना है वो तो अपना होगा ना।
And this is required watching, where we watch the essential films from lists of cinematic influencers and look at them through the lens about learning about filmmaking and how to move forward. I'm your host, Trey Epps, and today we're watching Tumbbad. And this is for you. This is for all the people, must have been a few weeks now, have said, watch this movie. And it's by far one of the films I was recommended the most. And as always, I didn't want to watch a trailer or read anything about it, so I found it where it was streaming and hit play. And upon research, I found out that this film has so many accolades, and it was under 2 hours. Not a requirement, but when it comes to Indian cinema, I'm always interested in what films are under 2 hours and why they're under 2 hours and what kind of story they're going to tell in under 2 hours. Because, of course, naturally, Indian cinema is used to being around the what 2.5 hours, 3 hours area, and that's very, very normal. So anything under 2 hours, I am shocked about and I'm interested in. Um, but things like that gets points for me. Like the Lunchbox, I'm interested in what what this art form can do outside of big epics, or long run times. And I was happy at the end. If the Lunchbox was a rom com, Tumbbad was a horror film on par with, in fact, not if not better than like Blumhouse films. Question: what's the deal with Indian mythology being in everything? That's not a complaint, actually. I just said in the Kantara, I don't know, I just said recently how much I love that it's in it. But I'm curious. I'm curious about why. I'm curious about any big epics that aren't based on anything real. Because from what I understand, this movie is kind of based on something real, right? Am I wrong? Did I not do my research properly? So I'm interested in, like, it seems like a lot of things are based on something real. So I'm also interested now into knowing what is things that are completely fictional that are also big hits. Or just like universally loved, not necessarily a hit, but you get what I'm saying. Um, uh, like I said, I'm not upset about it. I like that it's connected to something. It really makes me feel grounded and like I understand what's happening, even if obviously things get a bit fictional, things get a bit crazy. I can't imagine people are going down wells into the womb of a goddess and finding these things. Um, uh, I just think that it's interesting that so many films are rooted in kind of this backstory and lore. It's almost like when you watch Star Wars and you see the scroll at the top and it tells you about this galaxy far, far away and everything else. But like, if that were real, I don't know. I like it. That is not a complaint. Um, Okay, so this movie was interesting. I couldn't figure it out because it felt different from anything else that I've watched recently. Admittedly, I'm not really a horror fan. I do like horror movies. I like anything that Ari Aster has done. I really, really enjoy. I'm not into like anything gory, mainly because they just don't scare me. They just don't. They just don't scare me. So I feel like it's being wasted on me. Um, but this movie felt so different from anything I've watched. And I left the first act feeling much grief and sadness for this family who had lost someone, and had to endure those terrible things like this grandmother kind of attacking them, all to watch this boy grow up and become obsessed with the gold. And I don't know if it's just me, but I was like, why is he back? Why is he back in town? Why is he doing this? You can't have I don't know, if I experience what he experienced, I don't think I'm going back to this town. I feel like I know what would happen, and you know that's what makes this a tragedy in a sense, right? Um, Obsession and greed. We were warned about this from the start, and it's a deadly sin after all. But it felt like this guy had one focus and wasn't ever going to give up on the treasure. So much of it, so much of that, I started to wonder that how much of Haster's treasure there was. Like, was it unlimited? Did it refill every time he left and came back? I was curious, like what would have stopped him from going down there? But when the boy who was training, when we saw the boy who was training, I thought, well, it's over for this guy. The protagonist is definitely going to die. Um, this was never going to be a story with a good ending, and I loved watching where it was going to go. I didn't understand Haster's powers, so when they brought the multiple dolls down, we saw the multiple Hasters. I was like, yeah, that like he's definitely going to die. I thought they were both actually going to die right there, and it was like the mother and the mistress or whoever who had to like survive them. The one thing I was confused about is why they didn't just throw the dolls and make a run for it. If like they trained, like I don't know, it takes these people multiple times to uh like they had multiple dolls, like dough dolls, to distract them. So why they didn't just throw the multiple dough dolls and then like make a run for it? Because they're attracted to like the wheat and the dough, the rice, whatever it was. Um, but he decided to strap all the dough dolls to himself. I okay. um, don't get me wrong. I think they both would have died, but I just thought they would have tried something else because why not? Um, this was also the first film where the songs were not subtitled for me, so I watched it on Amazon. I wasn't sure if there was if like it was a platform or if the songs just didn't matter as much as some of the other movies. So I felt like I was missing moments um, where we had these really like we had these like song interludes where music was playing and people were singing, but I wasn't sure what was being sung. And maybe that's just my own fault for not speaking any of the Indian languages. Um, but maybe it was Amazon Prime's fault for not subtitling them. What I actually found recently is that I'm expecting a connection between the music and the TV, um, like the music and the movie that I'm watching. Even when it's not an Indian movie, I am very much expecting to for there to be a connection, which goes to show how ingrained music is and how this mechanic can be very powerful. Um, or whatever. I miss my subtitles. Um, yeah, I think I just got so accustomed to it that without it, it felt to be very dramatic. It felt lonely. Um, see some fun facts. Tumbbad became the first ever Indian film to open the Venice International Film Critic Week. Director Rahi Anil Barv wrote the first draft of the movie in 1997 when he was just 18 years old. Tumbbad's initial runtime was close to 200 minutes, which was edited down to 100 minutes. I want to know what was in those other 100 minutes. That's so important. I want to know why. I want to know what happened. I want to know what story was being left out. Um, in terms of scene stealers, I'm going to say hair. Hair is a scene stealer. From facial hair to hair on your head, it just seemed to be an ever changing menagerie of hair, and I was there for it. It really seems like Indian men know how to grow a good mustache. I need to learn from them. Um, um, if I were to make one thing better, I'm usually asking for more things, right? Of course, this is kind of jokey because I don't know if it would make it better. It probably makes it whole much more, a lot more worse. But a lot more worse. I don't know what I'm saying. My suggestion doesn't make things better. It'll likely make it worse. But I wanted more of Hasser. I wanted to see him more. I wanted to understand him more. I don't know if I understand the rules of him, and I know that we learn them along with the protagonist, but it just felt like I didn't understand what the rules were. And I feel like there are definitely rules somewhere. Because if we know the story of how he's made and all that, I don't know. Like, do we know that or do they know that? But assuming that they know the story of him, then there should be more to it. Should be more to it than that. And I wonder if I haven't looked it up. I wonder if there's a sequel that maybe adds to this, because there's certainly a world where there could be more to it than this. Anyways, is this film required? Yes, it's the first horror film that I've seen in Indian filmmaking, and I'm really, really excited to see what else is out there. It's really, I don't know if you guys find it the same way. If you have another resource of finding Indian film, let me know. But it's really hard to break things up by genre and know what's worth watching. Because I want to know what's good, but I just can't figure it out. And knowing that, like with the Lunchbox, knowing that there are rom-coms out there that are like that, so knowing that there are horror films like this, um, I'm really interested in all different aspects. So please continue to give me your recommendations. If you want more of this, I can certainly do that. But you have to like, you have to subscribe. I appreciate you watching. Share it with your friends, please, please, please. It lets me know that you want to do this, and it helps YouTube do whatever it does to make more people watch these videos. So thank you very, very much. Um, I've also been thinking about doing reaction videos to Indian trailers. I watched one Indian film trailer and it was so outrageous that I'm sure it's a good movie, but the trailer itself is so outrageous that I thought maybe people are interested in that. So if you are interested in that, let me know. I don't, I'll be honest, I don't think I can do an entire reaction video of an Indian film at the moment. But if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll make some time. Also, we can do some watch along where you watch and talk about the film at the same time, like watch parties. If you're interested in any of that, let me know. Until next time, Recorded Watching is what is it? It's a film club. So until next time, thank you very, very much. And if this is the last one of the year, Happy New Year. Um, but also, I'll make more. Until next time, guys. Peace.